Hi, what's up, you guys? Bloody Jacob here to bring you another Van Helsing review. This time we're going to be talking about Season 4, Episode 7, called Metamorphosis.
Jacob here, meeting my icon, Catherine Isabel here. Yeah.
And that's right, we are finally here, the awakening and release of the Dark One, Dracula, Tricia Helfer. And I was looking forward to this episode. This is what the whole season has been building to, or in ways, sort of the whole, series when you think about it. When you think about it, it's pretty obvious. But this is a pretty important episode, to say the least. So for this video, I'm even wearing my Van Helsing shirt again. Check it out. But yeah. Anyway, this is just like a custom print someone did off of T Public and such. Still cool. I'm glad I got it a while ago. But yeah, this is a pretty important episode, to say the least. And I gotta say, I thought this was a fantastic episode. I absolutely loved this episode. You guys know, if you've been watching my reviews this season, the season's been a bit lukewarm for me. Not that it's been bad or anything, I just haven't, I don't know, just certain things haven't been quite as gripping to me as other seasons, and I feel like there's been too little Vanessa this season. I mean, she's only been in about half the episodes, give or take, so far this season. But still, I knew once we got to the Dracula stuff, it was gonna, give me something, and let me say, it most definitely did. It's very, very worth it. Oh god, where to start? So, we have Vanessa, who, of course, ended up meeting up with Jack, and she's introduced to, Kia King's character, Violet. And, I like the explanation we got for, why Jack and Violet are essentially, in their own way anyway, Van Helsing's. And, it turns out that they're actually, experimenting on too, and using, Vanessa's eggs or whatever, so technically they're her spawn, not Abraham's spawn, but, the daughters of Vanessa, at least in a certain way. So I thought that made sense, I guess within the context of the world of the show anyway. I think it makes more sense than them just sort of randomly being out there and related to her or something like that through some other means. So I'm happy with that explanation. But yeah, this episode is just incredible. I kind of have to skip along here to what really, really pulled me in. I was really happy with this episode. It seems like the darkest and gloomiest episodes always nail it on the show, and every episode's kind of like that. But there's certain episodes throughout the series, just the way they're lit, means some really, really good dark shit. And that's what we got in this one. Of course, Sam and the Oracle had traveled there, and with Jack being manipulated and sort of seduced and, pulled in by Dracula, sort of drawn to her, as one of her powers. Vanessa and Violet actually end up meeting up with, Michael Eklund, who, yes, was, Jacob in Season 3, but he was also Abraham Van Helsing himself, so finally meet the men. And it was good seeing Michael Eklund again. He's always been a talented genre actor, and he seems to be a really, really cool person. But yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about him as Abraham Van Helsing. I mean, he does a good job. I'm sure we'll see a little more of him. But Michael Eklund tends to play more like weird, off the wall, antagonistic characters. So when I see him as like the Abraham Van Helsing, I'm like on edge, or I don't fully trust him as like this honorable, all-time great hunter sort of character. I don't know, but still cool to actually meet the character. And I was just so into this episode because I've been here for the show since day one. And supporting every damn step of the way, but I was always worried that Syfy or something was going to cancel it before they really got too far into the story. But here we are, season 4, episode 7. We actually get the release of Dracula and the Dark One, and it was almost cathartic, just watching this episode unfold, just knowing the show has been able to make it this far, and it feels very rewarding in a way for the viewer that we're getting to see so much of this story unfold now and take place. And I really gotta give a special shout out, if I don't already every week, to Kelly Overton. She just continues to go above and beyond and continually impress me with her amazing acting performances. I honestly do think she is the best lead currently on TV of any show. Just the strength and consistency in her performances, the depth of emotion, the range of them. She beats out any sort of drama actor you'll see nominated on any award show, in my opinion. But yeah, and Tricia Helfer, we've only seen a little bit of her as Dracula. It is a bit curious though, because I was rewatching season 2 with my fiance not too long ago, and it was like Dimitri and some of the others they had referred to the Dark One as he. So I'm not sure if they always plan on Dracula being a female, but if it works, it works. And Tricia Helfer, she's just a great genre talent. Battlestar Galactica, a bunch of other stuff. She's even in a pretty good episode of Supernatural early on. She's in a good show called Burn Notice. So she's covered a range, but I feel like she has a great stamp, for any sort of sci-fi horror show. And here she is as Dracula, and she's one of the best versions of the Count that I've seen for quite some time. She really nails like those mannerisms. I like the music that accompanies her scenes, just the vibe with her, kind of the beat with it, and you feel like it's unstoppable, very deep doom that's on screen right now. And yet she's very incredibly alluring as well, and she has her charm and way about her as well. I don't know if she's gonna kind of use that, cover human form that the Oracle and Sam are doing, and she's going to look like a more put together Tricia Helfer or something, which would be fine. But either way, I think she, looks fantastic, obviously, and I think she pulls off every facet that you could want for the Dracula character thus far. And just how it was another play on Vanessa's dark side within herself, and Dracula sort of being even being pulled in, curious as to what's so special about this one. What is it within her? Of course, they share some of the blood, which we don't fully know everything about yet, necessarily. And you see Vanessa's dark side being tapped into a little bit again. You see the red eyes come up, which we haven't seen really much since last season. And for a second, you don't think Vanessa's really gonna fully give into it, but I thought she just had a great arc in season 3 with really teetering that line there. One of my favorite times on the show, so it's good to see that that's still obviously an issue, or part of the character that she still continually has to battle for obvious reasons. But of course, Dracula sees something in Vanessa right away. She even seems to prefer to the Oracle pretty quickly. And we'll talk about Sam in a second, don't worry. But of course, Vanessa... we'll talk about Sam first. Sam apparently is finally killed off. One of the most major villains of the entire series run so far has finally met his demise, I guess, and set up after all this time with the Oracle, and she immediately just sort of, bows to Dracula as one of her brides and everything, and Sam is essentially screwed over and just used to, make the process work and power up Dracula herself. And she then turns him to dust and disintegrates him, essentially, right? And you see the skull, the horns fall into the pile. So yeah, just like that, Sam I Am is no more. Now I am with a group of people. I do think the character may have overstayed his welcome a little bit, but I just thought Christopher Heyerdahl all throughout the whole series has done a phenomenal job. The effort in this guy's mannerisms, the voice he would use, and just the way he would embody the character. There are many actors out there that won't even put a quarter of the effort he does into it. So I give all the props to Christopher Heyerdahl for just playing that creepy-ass character so well. Really one of the main, notable takeaways for, antagonist characters on the show, for sure. And just like that, gone. And of course, Jack and Violet are there to help Vanessa as well. They were told of these, pages by Abraham to somehow build this weapon, which they're trying to find out more about. But they're easily knocked around by, Oracle, Sam, and the others. And Vanessa says, she'll prove her, allegiance or fealty to Dracula, by giving her the blood of her offspring, in a way anyway. And she does that, but she tells them to, basically run, find the pages and figure out how to build whatever. And that's always going to be something you'll have to fight within yourselves as well. And for a second, it's kind of fun to see Kelly Overton tap into that more sinister, darker side of Vanessa again, but just a great arc for Vanessa that she, again, proves that she has overcome that. And she's able to throw herself and Dracula into the portal, which I think means she and Dracula are both, again, trapped in this dark realm that, Van Helsing and Dracula went into, so long ago. I believe that's the case. So I'm hoping we get some kind of episode that shows her and Dracula in there together. Maybe get some good character play between the two. I think that could be really cool between Kelly Overton and Tricia Helfer, who, again, had great on-screen chemistry here. You almost want them to sort of, get into the work together, but a very, very easy route for Vanessa as well. And the fight with Sam was pretty good. I know I'm jumping around, but Vanessa got some good slashes on Sam, a stab, and Sam almost tears her guts out and impales her. But Vanessa is able to eventually escape that anyway, and she sees the demise of Sam again, which I already talked about. So it's good that Vanessa is there for that, for everything Sam had put her in the group through, as far back as Susan and everything like that. But yeah, I know I haven't talked about everything in this episode properly, but I'm still kind of just spinning. I think it's easily the best episode of the season so far. I think it's probably one of the best episodes of the series as well. Probably within the top 5 they've ever done, to me. I think it's actually pretty easy for any fan of the show to say that. Just because, again, this is a pinnacle of Van Helsing, I think, that we're seeing right here. And again, it's just amazing that we've gotten this far in the story. Now please, tweet Renew Van Helsing, tweet hashtag Van Helsing in general, or something like that, because the show deserves all the support. The ratings did dip a little bit a couple episodes ago, but they have gone back up to around 0.35 again, which is good, but still you gotta keep up on it, because I think the show certainly deserves to go on for as long as they need. I see it going like maybe a 5th and final season, just based on the direction of the story right now. I think that would line up well. So please, at least let's get it renewed for a final season, or however long they actually have planned for it. We need to see this through, because this is really some amazing stuff here, guys. Credit to the director of this episode, who I didn't see listed yet, but whoever shot it, really nice job. Again, the crew, Kelly Overton as always, who I already talked about, and Tricia Helfer, intoxicating as Dracula so far, I gotta say. Oh, but yeah, great episode. And I feel like the only thing that's going to top this episode is like a major confrontation episode between Vanessa and Dracula. and hopefully we do get to see that. But yeah, I just love the dynamic so far. You really feel it, the importance of this scene and a release. So yeah, I'm sure there's more I could talk about, so please feel free to leave a comment below and we can talk more about it. I'm giving this episode a 9.6 out of 10, which is the highest I've rated any episode of a show in a while. So yeah, follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, like, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.